Hey, what's up there, youth pastors? Paul Turner here from thediscipleproject.net, here with another video for you today. And today I want to talk to you. No, wait a second. No, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to your pastors. That's right. I want to talk to your pastors today because if you've not been paying attention, there's this article that's been going around in not video, but a picture of a sticker that a young youth pastor made called I Heart Hot Youth Pastors. A terrible error in judgment. He's handing it out, and it was supposed to be a riff on I Heart Hot Moms and all this other stuff. It was just a terrible, terrible idea, a terrible mistake. And I'm going to talk to you youth pastors about that in another video. But this video is for your pastors, because I want to help your pastors. Pastor, welcome in, by the way, if you're watching this. I want to help your youth pastor not make foolish mistakes that bring this kind of attention to your church, the kind of attention you do not want. Before we get into that, though, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, would love for you to be part of the community. Go ahead and click that subscribe button down there, and you'll get videos like this in your inbox on a regular basis. So now, pastors, let me talk to you for a second. Pastors, let me give you 4 ways that you can help your youth pastor not make dumb mistakes, okay? And I need to preface this, and I want to, I don't know the relationship between the pastor and their youth pastor of this particular incident. But here's what I do know after 30 years of serving in youth ministry, that very few of the pastors I served knew me. They didn't know me. They didn't know me well. And quite frankly, some of them didn't want to know me. They wanted me to do my job, and that was it. That's fine. That's perfectly well within their right. But I think I would have avoided a lot more foolish mistakes had I been on a more personal relationship, had been in more of a personal relationship with the pastors that I served. And so let me give you 4 things that I think, pastor, you need to know. Number 1, you need to know thy youth pastor. Every church is excited about getting a youth pastor. You're excited about getting a youth pastor because that's one thing off of your plate. That's one less thing you got to worry about. The heat gets taken off, and now this thing is off and running. The problem is that a lot of pastors don't check in with their youth pastors. They just say, well, I'm assuming that it's going to be done. And we address things in staff meetings and things like this. But here's the deal. You really need to know your youth pastor. You need to know them. And I don't mean just know them, like you know who they are. You've gone through the resume process. You've gone through the interview process. That's one type of knowing. The knowing that continues is a discipleship knowing. It's leadership development, which I'll say all young youth pastors still need. They still need somebody to help them be discipled, and they still need somebody to help them, especially in leadership development. And that's where you come in. So my encouragement is to know them, know their families, know their hobbies, know what makes them angry, know what makes them cry, know what makes them passionate. Because when you know that, and you're going to see and develop an idea of how they process ideas and how they come up with those things that may or may not be good for your youth ministry. And so I would encourage you, pastors, please take your youth pastor out once a month for coffee. Take them out individually for lunch. Take your youth pastor and their spouse out for a meal once a quarter. Just them, maybe even their children. Let their children come as well. Whatever you choose to do, I'm encouraging you to know thy youth pastor, because when you know them, you're going to know their process. You're going to know how they come to conclusions and decisions. The second thing, after you have taken them to lunch and you're sitting there with them, and once you get past the pleasantries and how are you doing and all those things, here's my thing is I would ask them very key and strategic questions. I would ask them things like, how is their planning process going? That's a key question. Because if you don't know how they plan and how they process, something can get in there that maybe you're going, oh, wait, that's maybe not good. How are their programs going, right? Not just numbers, but how are they in the planning process of their programs? What kind of ideas do they have to move the youth ministry forward? And these are all very strategic questions because it's letting you know how this youth pastor thinks, how they come to the conclusions they do. And that's part of discipleship, and that's part of good leadership development. So in being deliberate in your questioning, you may spot a red flag, which will then steer your youth pastor away from potential pitfalls. And that's really what you want to do as a pastor. Help that youth pastor move away from those kinds of bad decisions. This is your Luke and Yoda time, if you get the reference. This is a time of mentorship, not friendship, and your opportunity to speak into this young life with authenticity and wisdom. Don't try to correct anonymous behavior anonymously. Don't bring up something in a staff meeting. They're not paying attention to you, okay? They're really not. The youth pastor's on their phone, as well as everybody else in your staff meeting, and they're thinking about lunch, and they're thinking about all the list of things they got to do. Don't anonymously address, and quite frankly, don't specifically address it. Take the time to personally talk with your youth pastor about the things that you want to talk to them about, not this overall arching things that nobody's going to understand what you're talking about. Okay? So go ahead and help them. They're ignoring you in the meeting, but they're listening to you over coffee. Okay? I'll leave it at that. The third thing you can help them do is surround them with a great team. Now, listen, I'm a youth pastor at a small church. I don't have a team of people. But I do have parents and other people in the church that I have these what ifs. Hey, what if I did this? And what if I did that? And I do that so that I can find out if my idea passes the smell test. If I get a wrinkled nose, like, I don't understand that, it's probably not going to work and I probably need to get rid of it. But if you have a small church like mine, ask some of the older members in your church to check in on your youth pastor. Have them go to lunch with them. If you don't have time for some reason, which you do have time, make time for them. But you can also, put deacons. You can put board members, not to spy on them, but to actually build genuine relationships with them. So ask them to take them under their wing. If they can't commit full-time to being on a youth team and that kind of stuff, just have them pop in and out. Right? I have somebody in my church who comes out and they just count the numbers, and that's what they do. And I love it. I love Brother Bill. He comes in and counts the numbers, and it's an opportunity for me to connect with him. I welcome that, and your youth pastor will welcome that as well. Find ways to shoo people that are going to help, because this idea that the youth pastor came up with, the big question is, how could he do that? The question is, how did he get through the vetting process? How did he get through there? And I would say this, that maybe he was not surrounded, or she was not surrounded by the best team of people. Maybe they needed some different types of personalities on that team to be able to help him recognize, or she recognize, the value of that idea or the non-value of that idea. So always shoo people that you think are going to be good fits and be good team members to help that youth pastor come up with the best ideas, the best programs, the best programming, the best everything, so that moving forward, less and less mistakes and less misjudgments are made. Now, the last thing is this, and it's simple. And I know you say you do this, but I'm going to say it anyway, and that is love them. Does your youth pastor know what will happen to them if they get in trouble? Do they believe that you will gently correct them, or do they believe you will explode in anger? Your youth pastor has to know that they need not fear you if there's a problem, because if they fear you, they will likely hide their mistakes from you. So the question is, do your youth pastors know they can trust you with a mistake? Do your youth pastors know that you're not going to blow up at them or pounce on them or tell them that's a stupid idea, although it may be a stupid idea? But once again, they're in process. These young youth pastors are in process. Do they know that they can come to you with that? So pastors, those are the 4 things I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you understand my heart behind it. Once again, I've had my experiences in 30 years. You have your experience. And if there's a way I can help you with your youth pastor, I do offer monthly coaching, and I'm going to put a link down below. It's called My Monthly Mentor. It is a place for youth pastors to be able to vent. It's a place for youth pastors to be able to share ideas. It's a place for youth pastors to learn and be in community. And so if your youth pastor needs help, I want to help you have a great youth ministry. And I want to help your youth pastor become a great youth pastor. They need the space to do that, and I want to create the space to do that. So if that's of interest to you, there'll be a link down in the description. So pastors, leave me some comments down below. What do you think about these 4? Do you do them? Are you actively doing this with your youth pastor? Are you helping them not make these kinds of mistakes? Do you have a process for that? Also, youth pastors, let me know down in the comments below. Did I leave anything out? Do you feel like this is accurate and this is valid of what youth pastors are looking for from their pastors? So that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate your attention and your time. Be sure to click that thumbs up button. Let me know you like the video and you want more of them. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.